What would compel a successful YouTuber to stage an elaborate hoax that lands him in one of the world's most notorious prisons? This is the story of how a seemingly harmless pursuit of fame spiraled into international disgrace, a jail sentence, and widespread condemnation. Strap in for a tale that will leave you stunned. Who is Goodnight Chicken? To dive into the drama surrounding Goodnight Chicken, we must first understand the man behind the name. At 31 years old, Goodnight Chicken, real name Chen Neng Chuan, rose to fame in the unlikeliest of ways. His break came in 2020 during a live streaming session at an abandoned hospital. Like many urban explorers, he likely anticipated a quiet, eerie adventure filled with suspense and the occasional jump scare. Instead, he stumbled upon a missing person, a discovery that catapulted him from obscurity to stardom almost overnight. This twist of fate brought him the kind of fame most content creators dream of. He became a household name, celebrated for his adventurous spirit and unique content. With his newfound celebrity status, Goodnight Chicken transformed his platform into a springboard for travel vlogs and daring exploits. His content was a mix of adrenaline-fueled escapades and engaging storytelling that captured the imagination of his audience. For a time, it seemed his trajectory was unstoppable, but the very qualities that endeared him to his fans, his appetite for drama and flair for theatrics, would eventually become his downfall. His thirst for sensationalism led him to push boundaries, and it wasn't long before his antics crossed ethical and legal lines, tarnishing the reputation he had worked so hard to build. Why Cambodia? The next chapter in Goodnight Chicken's saga unfolded in Cambodia, a location as controversial as it was intriguing. Cambodia has gained notoriety in recent years as a hotspot for scam operations, especially call centers that exploit people through coercion and fraud. A 2023 United Nations report revealed that around 1 lakh people had been trafficked into the country to work under deplorable conditions in these illegal enterprises. Alarmingly, many of these victims were Taiwanese nationals. For someone like Goodnight Chicken, who thrived on sensational narratives, Cambodia offered the perfect stage. The country's ongoing struggles with human trafficking and scam syndicates were already making headlines, drawing widespread concern. It was a real-life drama rife with tension, emotion, and urgency, an irresistible backdrop for a streamer looking to captivate an audience. However, rather than using his platform to shed light on these issues responsibly, Chen opted for a different route. The staged drama in Cambodia. The live stream that made Goodnight Chicken infamous was a meticulously staged performance that blurred the lines between reality and fiction. He spun a story of his own kidnapping, crafting each detail to increase the drama and keep his viewers on edge. It all started with a shaky, whispering live stream where he claimed to be sneaking into a scam compound in Sihanoukville, Cambodia. His whispers, quick glances over his shoulder, and exaggerated pauses were designed to heighten the sense of danger, making it seem as though he was being hunted. To add to the authenticity, Goodnight Chicken shaved part of his head, a desperate attempt to mimic the look of someone who had been captured and tortured. He covered himself in fake blood, wore military attire, and even used props like mock weapons to drive home the narrative of him being pursued by dangerous individuals. In one chilling moment, the camera zoomed in as he ran from a person in a military outfit, heightening the suspense. Then, just when the tension reached its peak, the stream abruptly cut off, leaving viewers hanging in uncertainty. The scene was gripping, almost cinematic, but the truth soon began to surface. Sharp-eyed viewers quickly noticed inconsistencies in the footage, such as repeated backgrounds and the obvious staging of certain scenes. What had seemed like a real-life thriller was, in fact, a carefully constructed hoax designed to exploit viewers' emotions. The truth unravels. The unraveling of Goodnight Chicken's story was as swift as it was damning. Internet sleuths and influencers, such as Liu Yu, started analyzing his footage, and the inconsistencies were glaring. Key locations in the stream, which were purportedly part of a perilous escape, turned out to be nothing more than peaceful beach resorts. Critics questioned why an alleged kidnapping victim was allowed to retain live streaming gear, an implausible scenario that fueled doubts about the story's authenticity. It wasn't long before the truth emerged. Goodnight Chicken and his fellow YouTuber, Lu Tzu Xian, had staged the entire escapade. The dramatic chase, the supposed military presence, the fake blood. Every element had been meticulously choreographed for maximum shock value. Even Chen's shaved head, designed to evoke the image of a tortured prisoner, was just another prop in his elaborate ruse. Cambodian authorities, unimpressed by the theatrics, wasted no time intervening. The duo was arrested at their hotel in Prea Sihanouk province. During the investigation, police uncovered military costumes and other props used to fabricate the illusion of peril. Goodnight Chicken's theatrics led to swift and severe legal repercussions. In February 2024, a Cambodian provincial court sentenced both Chen and his accomplice, Lu Tzu Sien, to 2 years in prison. They were also fined approximately $2,000 for incitement to cause chaos to social security. For many, the punishment felt justified, considering the damage their fabricated drama had caused. Prison conditions. Life in a Cambodian prison is far from lenient, and for Goodnight Chicken and his accomplice, Lu Tzu Sien, the reality has been grim. Reports from inside reveal that the duo has been placed in an overcrowded cell housing up to 150 inmates. Space is so limited that Chen has been forced to sleep while seated, surrounded by other prisoners in equally dire conditions. The cell itself is poorly ventilated, with only one non-flushing toilet to serve everyone, underscoring the harsh environment they must endure. Cambodian prisons are known for their strictness, reflecting the country's rigid approach to law enforcement. Facilities are often underfunded, leading to overcrowding and inadequate living conditions. Prisoners face strict daily routines, limited access to basic amenities, and minimal medical care. For many, this system is designed not just to punish, but to serve as a deterrent, reinforcing the consequences of breaking the law. The severity of Cambodian prisons has garnered international attention in the past, with human rights organizations often highlighting the conditions as inhumane. Yet, in this particular case, public sentiment has been unsympathetic. Many believe Chen's actions, fabricating a kidnapping and trivializing serious issues like human trafficking, fully warrant the harsh treatment. Adding to the difficulty of imprisonment is the strict surveillance and control within the facilities. Personal freedoms are almost non-existent, and inmates are subjected to rigorous discipline. The Cambodian legal system prioritizes the preservation of social order, meaning high-profile offenders like Chen and Lu face an especially tough road. This harsh environment serves as a stark contrast to the lifestyle Chen once enjoyed as a social media influencer. The experience has stripped him of the luxury and attention he thrived on, replacing it with the unforgiving realities of incarceration. For many observers, this chapter in his life is a sobering reminder of the risks of exploiting serious issues for personal gain. While Cambodia's strict prison conditions may seem extreme to some, they underscore the gravity with which the country views actions that disrupt its social fabric. For Goodnight Chicken, this sentence is more than just a punishment, it's a powerful lesson in accountability, the fallout. However, the legal consequences were only part of the fallout. Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet did not mince words, publicly denouncing their actions as a blatant disrespect to the country and a trivialization of its grave human trafficking crisis. In a nation already battling severe exploitation issues, this stunt was seen as not only wasteful, but harmful, misdirecting attention from genuine victims and critical efforts to combat trafficking. The outrage wasn't confined to Cambodia. In Taiwan, where Goodnight Chicken had garnered a substantial following, citizens were livid. Many viewed his actions as a national embarrassment, one that tarnished Taiwan's image on the global stage. More importantly, his stunt detracted from ongoing efforts to address the trafficking and scam syndicates that have exploited countless lives, including many Taiwanese citizens. As the dust settled, the sense of betrayal among his audience was palpable. Goodnight Chicken was not just another internet personality. He had built a reputation as someone willing to take risks to expose injustices and shed light on critical issues. His platform carried a certain weight, a responsibility to use his influence ethically. Yet, instead of leveraging his reach to contribute positively, he fabricated a narrative for personal gain, betraying the trust of those who had supported him. The staged incident sparked widespread discussions about the ethics of content creation. Critics pointed to how his actions highlighted the dangers of prioritizing virality over integrity. The resources spent investigating and addressing his false claims could have been better utilized to aid real victims of trafficking and exploitation. For Goodnight Chicken, this chapter marked the lowest point in his career. It was not just a fall from grace, but a cautionary tale about the consequences of sensationalism and dishonesty in the digital age. The incident serves as a stark reminder that while the internet can amplify voices, it also amplifies accountability. Lessons from the saga. The downfall of Goodnight Chicken has lingered in my thoughts, not just because of its jaw-dropping nature, but because it offers a clear glimpse into the perilous world of influencer culture. In today's digital age, authenticity is one of the most coveted traits in content creators. Audiences crave connection with those who seem genuine, who share their lives without any pretense. But with the increasing pressure to stand out and go viral, many influencers end up crossing ethical boundaries to stay relevant. Goodnight Chicken's story is a stark reminder of the responsibilities that come with having a platform. It's not enough to simply entertain or shock. Ethical considerations must always come first. The stories influencers tell have real-life implications, and respect for those involved is paramount. As someone who spends considerable time in the online world, we should become more conscious of the creators we choose to support. This incident has reinforced the importance of holding not just influencers, but all content creators accountable for the narratives they promote. Ultimately, Goodnight Chicken's rise and fall is a cautionary tale about the dangers of chasing fame and virality without regard for the consequences. His actions didn't just harm his own reputation, they hurt real victims and damaged the trust audiences place in creators. I hope this story sparks an important conversation about the ethics of content creation. Moving forward, maybe influencers will think twice before sacrificing integrity for clicks. Because in the end, no amount of likes or followers can replace the value of credibility and humanity.